Yeah, g'day YouTubers, Tinker O'Toole again here with an updated video on the Hexa grind using the Oregon type grinder. In the other video that we did, we're only getting just over maybe 112 degrees. We weren't getting a full 120 degrees, which is what the span is of the angle that goes into the Hexa, the angle going in and the angle going out. So it's 60 degrees in, 60 degrees out, so that's 120 degrees. A couple of degrees on the bottom is not really going to be dramatic, but I found out a better way so that I could get 120 degrees rather than 100 and say 15 or 114. And that was the head, or the top plate cutting angle, what we refer to. So the head is this grinding head here is the one, it creates the top plate cutting angle. You can only set this to 90 degrees. You can't go any further that way. So you really need an additional 10 degrees to get your full 120. So yeah, you can do it by hand and guess, but I don't like guessing. Guessing's not, really the way to do things. So I come up with the idea that if I made a bit of a ramp, so I'll put a 10 degree tilt on here, and it's just a matter of, this is about 1.6 mil, and sit this inside the guide rails, lock it up. Now I've got a 10 degree slope on that. So with this set at 90 degrees, this will give us another 10 degrees. That'll take the wheel to 100 degrees. So by putting that at 10 degrees and dressing the wheel, we are getting not 90 degrees, but 100. So there is your 10 degrees just by using this bit of metal. Now, if you can't get a bit of metal, maybe you can get a bit of plastic. You should be able to get a bit of plastic and maybe find something to cut it with. Something in there just to give you 10 degrees approximately. So that's spot on, that's 10 degrees. So I've dressed that wheel. Now that wheel's been dressed. So we've got 100 degrees already. So we need 120 degrees because, as I said, 60 degrees in, 60 degrees out. So we've got to put a 20 degree chamfer on that. It's already got it, but I'll zoom in so you can see it. There it is there. That's your 20 degree chamfer on there. And you can probably see on the bottom of the wheel that it's not square. If you were to put a square there, you'd find out that it's close enough to 10 degrees. That's a 10 degrees offset there. So if you're to look at the two angles, which is this angle here and this angle here now, this would be your 120 degrees between these two angles. So therefore now you have to create that angle, which is quite easy. So all as you do is you turn this from 90 degrees to 70 degrees. And what you'll find out is that you need to put, I'll just sort of zoom back there, you need to put a little bit of a angle line, or you don't have to, but it's much more accurate if you do, and your dressing stone can sit against the bottom and against that angle line. Start the motor, bring it down. You need to grind a bevel on the face of that stone of approximately about 4.5 millimeters maximum. So then you're going to have a 20 degree beveled on the edge of that. Plus you've got a 10 degree beveled edged here. The stone was originally 90 degrees between the vertical and the horizontal. You've just increased that to 120 degrees. That's exactly what we wanted. So we've got 120 degrees now. So that's going to sit and come into the chain properly. We need to tilt this head over to 40 degrees. 40 degrees plus 20 degrees is 60 degrees. So there's your 60 degrees in, and now that you've done an extra 10 degrees on this, you've got your 60 degrees out. So perfect. So all that remains now is to grind it. And we had a piece of chain here that was done. And I'll just grab the chain. It came up really well. There it is there. Now what's important, I spoke about the beveled edge that's on the wheel. This beveled edge, make sure you don't make it too big, because the bigger you make this, you're going to reduce the width of the wheel. The wheel's only 4.7 millimeters in width, so don't make your beveled edge any higher than about just on about 4 millimeters, because the actual tooth, if you look at it, it barely comes in at about 3 millimeters. So it comes in about halfway on the side plate and then exits down 60 degrees on the other angle down towards the gullet. So bear in mind, 4 millimeters is all you need on the width of that, and then you'll still have enough material on the side of the wheel to give the angle downwards. And that's it. And it's going to work perfect every single time. The only thing that you might find, it's not really that critical, you'll find that comes to a fairly square edge. So if we tilt that up, let's see whether you can see it. We'll zoom back in. You'll notice that the edge is fairly square. It's fairly sharp, which is what it is on a hexa cut. So you'll have to address it occasionally. You'll notice that the point here, nice beautiful square, nice edge, nice sharp edge, not rounded. On the Husqvarna X cut, this part here is rounded a little bit, slightly different profile. But this is the hexa cut profile. It has that span of 120 degrees. Look, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Bye for now.